What's going on, y'all? This is part 2 for the small block Chevy rebuild. On this video, I'll be continuing of Disassemble. Basically, removing the crankshaft and camshaft, and then once those are removed from the block, emerald clothing of the journals and the crankshaft, and then, as well as the camshaft. Also, gonna be removing all 5 camshaft bearings. With this, got this tool over here. It's specifically for 5.7s and 5.0 liter Chevy engines. It has 3 pieces like this. There's another piece. Then it has a little snap ring that goes around here. This is a remover / installer, so it can install bearings as well, but I'm just going to be showing for the removing of the camshaft bearings. So we're going to start with the main caps. So the the crankshaft can be removed. So I have them numbered already. The first 4 are like basically the same size, and the last one that would be closest to the flywheel on the back end of the engine. That's where the bigger main cap would be. So let's go ahead and get started removing these caps so we can free this crankshaft. Bolts were already loose, so just gotta hand unscrew them. Here's what the bigger cap looks like. That's located by the rear main seal. It still has the bearings on here. I'll be replacing in another video. And on this bigger main cap has a screw here. It's when what goes here is the oil pump, and this is the one bolt that secures the oil pump to this cap. These are the smaller 4 caps. 4 of these are smaller. They look like this. I usually just mark them where they came from. So I'll put a number on each of the caps before they get mixed around or whatever. It might not make a difference, but it probably does. I forgot. I'm not 100%, but it's what I do to make sure. So that way they go in the same place that they was taken out of. So there's no surprises later if that even matters where they at, or if they mixed around or whatever. Just in case, kind of thing. So that's all 5 caps removed. I was keeping it on the crankshaft on. This rear main seal. It's got like 4. It's got 3 bolts and 1 nut on the 2 smaller little screw bolts are going to be on the top, and then down lower you'll have that 1 long screw bolt, and then on the other side it has a screw bolt, but that actually supposed to stay in the engine block, and it has a nut on the other end. And then once those are removed, then the rear seal will come free. Just gotta pry it a little bit, or just pull it off. The nut was supposed to unscrew on this one, but it didn't. It just unscrewed from the block end. But either way, however it wants to come out, Here's the rear main seal. It has a gasket, so you have to get another gasket for it. On this side that goes on the block, and then there's a seal on the outer part. Has a seal here. You want to replace that as well. There should be like a replace kit that comes with the gasket and the seal. The seal, you just pop it off with a screwdriver and a hammer or something, a chisel, and then to remove it, then you just press it back on when you're putting the new one in. I'm gonna put this to the side now. Now, crankshaft should come out now out of the block. And here it goes. Here it is. There it is. Crankshaft. Okay, now what's next? On the very back center of the back of the engine, you know, the side where the flywheel will be at. You see, there's a freeze plug on the very center of the back, because that's like the back end of the where the actual it's the back end where the camshaft meets with that freeze plug. You gotta remove that freeze plug, and then you could remove the camshaft. So It's the freeze plug. Replace these. Anytime you remove these, replace them with new ones. Because sometimes you're going to have to just beat it up and put holes in it of dents just to get it out. It's the freeze plug for the back of the engine block. That's where you get access to the camshaft. So where the freeze plug was removed, um, that's the side you hit it. Hit the camshaft towards the front of the engine, and it should come out the front of the engine block. Take your time doing it. You just want to barely tap it a little at a time. Sometimes you have to go back and forth just to loosen it up, but you want it to exit out the front, where the timing chain be at. Just gotta get it lined up. Sometimes you gotta twist it a little bit one way, and then it'll just come out just like that. Keep twisting it until it's all the way out. This is the front end of the engine block on this end, and where you see this gear right here, this is the back end of the engine block where the flywheel and would be at, and as well as the freeze plug. So both shafts, the crankshaft and camshaft, has been removed from the engine block. So now we're gonna get on the removal of the camshaft bearings with the camshaft bearing installer, remover / installer. Put this crankshaft next to this camshaft. on the first cap and the last, on the first cam bearing and the last cam bearing, uh, the 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 first one, that which is up front, has two holes, and they're pointing directly up, but they're centered from in between each other, the holes. So it's two holes, and they're pointing up. The center of it is between the two holes. On the last cam bearing, which is near where the freeze plug would be, has one hole. It is pointing. It's pointing towards like up, but the three in the middle, the three bearings in the middle are pointing down. Just point that out. So I'm gonna start with the first one. This first one's removed. See, it has the two holes. Let me see. See, it has the two holes. The center would be in between the two holes. See? And they would be pointing up, like on the top of pointing towards the top of the engine up. And it was removed with this right here. Like, can't get it to go down all the way. There it go. And it's got like a little lip right here that catches it to keep this bearing from going any further back, so you can push it out. You just hit it with the hammer on the other end. And you do the same thing with the other four. It just, with the other four, you might have to use either this red one that's got the little extra edge on it, or this is just to put it in between one of the other bearing holes to like stabilize the whole bar. As you're going further back, you need like some type of other end support, and it would be this or this, depending. It depends if you're removing or installing. I forgot, but we'll see as we go. So it's looking like the blue one with the edge right there. Put that on the bright, you know, where the timing chain sprocket will be at for that camshaft bearing. After the camshaft bearing's removed, then you put the blue right there. And then with the same one that was used to remove the first one, it's going to remove the second one. So you got the blue on this front side where the timing chain sprocket would be. Put in where camshaft bearing number 1 is where this blue one is at, and then the one I used to remove the first one, using that for the rest of them as well. So the ones after number 2 should be the same all the way through. Belly tap. Make sure it gets on the edge. That's number 2 came out. This is number 2. It just got one hole, and the remaining bearings only have one hole, but the 3 in the middle point down towards the oil pan. The bottom points down. So this is the second camshaft bearing right here. You can always look to see if you see an engraving. If it says GM, that lets you know it's never been replaced. Put that to the side. I don't see anything on here yet. Maybe I have to clean it up to see if it's even on there. Same thing with the camshaft bearings. both sets of those. They're original. They're gonna have a GM on it. That's the third one. That third one popped out. Same thing. It's the third one. This is how it's set up. I use this end that runs through the bearing while it's still in there, and then it's got the little edge right here to stop it. And then I just use this one. It's on the front where the timing chain sprocket would be at. It won't go any further. It'll just be just that much going in the where the camshaft bearings will be, and this end will stay on the outside of the engine block. It's just a support. So as you go further up, it has this support end right here, and then this end is supported because it's actually pushing out the camshaft bearing. So it's got two ends of support. You just gotta take your time and just barely tap it. Don't like smash hammer it, just barely tap it. Little bit, little at a time. That's the fourth one. It's the fourth bearing right here. One more lift. This fifth one is all the way in the back of the engine, on the end where the freeze plug will be. There it is. That's all 5. If it gets stuck, use a screwdriver. Just pry it off with the little piece of the tool. pop that end off. This one's a little stuck, but it's the fifth one. See, it's got one hole, and that points up for the last camshaft bearing. It's where the freeze plug would be at on that end. See, it catches a little edge right there. It's a little pushed away from it, just a little bit, but see that edge? It keeps the bearing from going behind this. So you can push it out the other end. It's hitting in this way, so it can push the whole thing the way that you're hitting it, in one direction. So that's all of the camshaft bearings have been removed, all 5 of them. And I'll show the installing of the new cam bearings on another video. I just want to keep it as disassembled as much as possible on the first videos. Then the reassemble is like replacing the parts and putting it back together. Gotta look for my sanding paper. I should have had that already ready. Okay, good.